right, welcome to another week of Prep Sports Chat. Sports editor Jeff Kuehn. This is not Keith Dunlap. Keith Dunlap normally sits in on this, but Keith's out in Denver for the Frozen Four college hockey tournament. So Marvin Goodwin, our local writer extraordinaire, has joined us this week. And Marvin, let's start off with your expertise being track, and let us know. We had a big splash this past weekend with the previews, but how do you see the season shaping up in terms of teams and some athletes to watch?
Well, it's still early. Believe it or not, there are some teams that haven't had a dual track meet yet. But from the early results of some teams that have run, seems like the old regulars are still pretty good. Rochester Adams. Troy seems to be the team to beat in the area. However, Milford's boys and girls, they both have pretty good teams. And a rising team, I think, on the girls' side is Waterford Mott. Waterford Mott, they have to prove that they can run with the elite teams in the area, but they have all the components to do that. They have pretty good sprinters, they have a decent distant runners, and they even have a pretty good shot putter. So they'll be able to compete with most of the teams in the area. The only question is, since they're not used to that tradition of being a very good team, how will they shine, how will they perform when the meets get bigger against a good competition?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do we have one area that you really like, being it sprinting or distance runners? Is there a core group that...
Well, actually, I like them all. There's always some very good competition in all the areas of track, and whether it be hurdles, whether it be distances, whether it be sprints, whether it be field events. This is always a very competitive area in all those disciplines in track. So I always look forward to watching and covering all those events.
Changing gears a little bit, this Saturday, the Detroit Demolition women's professional football team takes the field at Livonia Franklin High School. And Marvin, you've covered them for a few years now. It's a different thing for most of us, having not watched women play tackle football, but give us a feel for that. And are they as good as they seem to be?
Well, they've won championships in 5 of the last 6 years. They are a very disciplined team, and a lot of that has to go, a lot of the credit has to go to Coach Tony Blankenship. He's a U of M grad, alumnus, and he's very good. This will be a especially challenging year for the Demolition because they lost a number of key players that have been with them all during their championship runs. Kim Grotus, the quarterback, she's retired. She provided great leadership. Kim Walters, the linebacker, Misty Finley, she's a very versatile player. She can kick. She's very good on defense. So they have to compensate for the losses of those players. However, they have a winning attitude with the team, a championship attitude with the team. They've added some new players this year. So I think they'll be just as competitive as they've been in the past, despite the losses that they've had.
It's entertaining time to go out and watch them play, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. And unless you think that these girls don't like to hit, they sure do like to hit. I'm telling you, it surprises me all the time that whenever they're in a chance to make a tackle, make a play, they do it just as well as the men. Despite their obviously differences or shortcomings with men, but they approach it with the same vigor, with the same excitement, with the same attitude as the men.
Good deal. Speaking of hitting, another expert field for you, boxing. I notice you have a column coming up this week. Tell us what we can look forward to.
Well, this weekend there's a match between Antonio Margarito and Kermit Citron. This should be a very competitive match. Citron's only loss is to Antonio Margarito, who is a very good fighter. This will be in the welterweight division for a welterweight title. Also, we have this weekend, we have Chad Dawson, the current light heavyweight champion. He's going to be facing, I believe it's Antonio Tarver. Antonio Tarver, of course, has the big name. He, of course, he knocked out Roy Jones Jr. about 3 or 4 years ago. So that should be a very competitive fight. And the following weekend is a fight that a lot of people are looking forward to. This is Joe Calzaghe of Wales. He's going to fight Bernard Hopkins, the old veteran Bernard Hopkins. They're going to fight in Las Vegas. This is going to be one of the few times that Calzaghe has come to the United States for a fight. And it should be very competitive. Of course, Bernard has had a lot of titles. He's a very good fighter, but I think a lot of people are underestimating Joe Calzaghe. They don't think he's fought the quality of competition as Bernard Hopkins, but he is a very good fighter. He hasn't been, he's had his title for like 10 years or something. So everybody he's fought, he's beaten them. So there has to be something to that. So that should be a good, good occasion.
Absolutely. Marvin, always a pleasure to talk to you here.
Fabulous.
We'll do it again.
All right.
It's another edition of Prep Sports Chat. Although we roamed a little bit, I'll admit, when Keith leaves town, this is what you get, right?
Absolutely.
Man behind the camera, Jim Martinez. Look for him at a game in your neighborhood soon.